let me ask you, what does a typical practice session for you look like? What do you do first thing you sit down when you go and practice? What is the most intuitive, most first natural thing? Like, I have caught myself being really sort of repetitive in my first approach to the drum set when I sit down.
Right.
I come in the room, I turn on the computer, I sit down and I go. It's always that. I'm always playing that tempo just to get to say hello first thing in the morning.
Right.
I go, it's that kind of 120 BPM, weird 60 note, like hello, what's here? Where are my limbs? Is this still working? That's what I do. Right. And then I find myself sometimes sometimes almost every day, warming up in that kind of tempo and feel, and kind of exploring. And then I catch myself going, oh, what am I doing? I'm here to practice and supposed to do something productive and constructive, not noodle around.
Right.
So, what is that thing that happens to you first? What's your first intuitive, like, hello to the drum set in the morning?
Similar.
Yeah?
Like, based on the snare drum. You know, and then introducing the toms and improvising.
Yeah.
It'll always be a little different, but yeah, I have a default kind of tempo and volume, for sure.
Yeah.
And then practice sessions, I mean, I'm sure you feel the same, that it's different in different decades of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot less now, and it's definitely based on either how inspired I am or what I have to prepare for, you know. So during the pandemic, you know, no one's got any gigs or anything going on, so I took a long break from practicing because I had nothing to prepare for and no motivation really.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you're a kid, you're just full of motivation, you can't stop playing, you know.
Yeah.
So again, when I studied with you for the first time, you opened my eyes to various things, including how to practice, which I'd never been taught before. My dad taught me a lot of great stuff, but I just never had anyone to teach me hand technique, for example, as one thing, but just the way to tackle things, you know, and to not noodle around.
Right.
So I will say though that one thing I don't think drummers do enough is improvise.
Yeah.
And the drummers that come to me, that for whatever they like about my playing, which is only drawn from the drummers that I liked, but they ask about flow and vocabulary, and you know, they'll say I'm playing a groove, and then every time I get to this, and they like do this, because drummers think this is different to this for some reason. It's all like 16th notes, but people find it hard to express themselves because not because they can't play something mechanically, but because they can't think it. You know, so I do still, and did when I was a teenager, spend a lot of time improvising because I wanted to sound like my favorite drummers, and I felt like it was less about transcribing exactly what they played and trying to mimic the sound and the vibe. So practice sessions always included a lot of improvising, but in my teen years and studying with you, I did a lot of specific independence routines and lots of pillows and pads with no rebound and specific things, and trying not to noodle. And then these days it's a little bit more based on what I have to prepare for.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Trying to stay motivated. You know. But I do struggle with that, I have to say. Like recently I've been working from the New Breed book, which is something that I dip into when I'm really trying to force myself. And when I do it, having had many months of not doing any constructive practice, I'm like, I enjoyed that. That was great, you know. But I think it's easy, I'm sure lots of musicians will agree with that it's easy to kind of just slip into habits and playing what you know, what sounds good.
Of course, yeah.